His ghoul micro today looked amazing. Is that the necessary adjustment to give us an all undead championship final, or will the big bout machine crush the party?
A player's forces are under
Oh yes, and I'm already in the game. Speed up, and let me tell you, Fortitude is opening with a very strong creeping, and it opens him this door, basically, to play either expansion on one base, and it's up to 1-0 to scout this, basically, because in this position, Fortitude again, he can either attack very quickly with level 3 or expand himself. We'll see about that. The first aura is good, the first item for the human, because it's the paladin aura, and everybody loves paladin abilities.
That is correct. Especially when it's played from a Chinese player and it's running with a Divine Shield in your base. But that's not what it's about. Devotion Aura always good. There's a solid amount of physical damage coming from ghouls, skeletons, beetles, as that is the opening here. Crypt Lord, the hero of choice. No Lich, no DK, Tet Fiends, nothing spectacular. Both sticking to their guns, or in 1-0's side, with their shield, as he has 2 rings of protection.
It's well set, and look at this very early expansion attempt by the Undead. And is he going to cross the map? Or he will creep Makrura? Oh, 1-0 is definitely watching my streams as well, because he knows that this camp is very juicy. A lot of creeping. He's like, okay, maybe I can't really apply too much pressure to the human expansion at this stage, but look at this one. Fortitude knows, and man, this expansion will die. Let me tell you that. But who knows? Maybe it's just a bait. Maybe it's just you like, hey, Archmage, you need to be there, and then 1-0 will attack the human expo.
That seems to be the plan. Water Elemental Archmage, easy cancel, as if this was part of the plan. We don't have the gold currently to tech immediately, but ghouls, skeletons on the way to 40's Expo, where he is going taking a piece of Infi's playstyle again with a double tower before Town Hall.
Yeah, but what is Crypt Lord left at the Undead expansion? I thought that it was going to be like the full force attack, but in the meantime, 2 workers are dead. Fortitude is still not expanding just yet. He invested into 2 arcane towers, which is amazing versus a Crypt Lord, of course. Speaking of the Crypt Lord, he's running with full mana in circles. I don't like it.
Me neither. That was a problem in the group stage as well. It was 4 full minutes without spending mana there for 1-0, as Fortitude, of course, won the group stage and counter as so often. But there is pressure. First arcane tower down, the second one cannot be stopped anymore.
Yeah, and Crypt Lord run now for a good reason, because yes, Arcane Tower is amazing with removing mana from the heroes. Okay, this is human versus undead craziness. Nobody's expanding, everybody's on tier 1, huge fights, huge levels. 1-0 is trying to expand again, and probably the same thing will do Fortitude. But who will outsmart who, right? Because it's all about finding this perfect balance between cancelling expansions and keeping them up yourself.
80 seconds for the undead expansion, 50 seconds for the human expansion. Who does more damage? Archmage in the middle, hunting ghouls, something that Cow couldn't achieve, has now been added to the account of 40. But I gotta say, compared to the group stage game, I like this a little better for 1-2-0. Depends, of course, when...
Water Metal got summoned in the wrong position. 1-2-0 was... Fortitude was trying to summon... Look at this wall! Look at this wall! This wall is good! Oh, he needs to keep this expo alive. Can he do it? So close, but I think it's not enough. The Crypt Lord goes around. What is happening here? Is he trying to vanilla surround? Not really. The undead army is not in position. Expansion will be cancelled. Just to Archmage and Water Elemental. Man, almost it worked.
Wait. Okay, footmen are here. Okay, that is a cancel indeed. In the meantime, ghouls are ravaging the main base. We got trouble city everywhere. But speaking of city, 40 has a second city on the right-hand side. He's mining. He can afford these losses.
Yes, but as you mentioned, inside of the human base, big action is happening. Of course, there is militia there. How is the Archmage doing? Archmage is running back, and man, he is fast with his boots of speed. And I think he will have no mercy to the 2 ghouls, Mr. Fortitude. With his boss aura, one of the ghouls wanted to survive sacrifice himself in order to survive, but Fortitude is ruthless. But in the meantime, look at the Impale in the human expansion. 1-0 is taking some revenge.
Oh, Archmage, kinda stuck! Wait a minute! He has a TP to get out, he's blocking himself. Absolute chaos! No Impale anymore to follow that up, but Footmen are falling. 1-0 makes this way more competitive than he did in the group stage, at least for now. The Ghoul rotation is in. Second squad, split attack, some to the Footmen, some to the Archmage. But he still needs to wait 40 seconds for his next expo, and it feels like the clock in 40's brain is ticking already. Oh, yeah, it's time. Not to get the pizza out of the oven, but to summon the water elemental at the expo and cancel it one more time.
Oh no. If this expansion goes down, it's GG. We can be clear about that. Acolyte, can you surround water elemental? Breath Acolyte, they did it. Expansion will go up. Of course, losing Acolyte is painful now because you would like to tag, but man, it could be much worse. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Undead expansion survived. This time.
Okay, that was very, very close. Level 4 on the Crypt Lord now as well. Little bit more mana. We still have that TP, so everything should be fine. You mentioned it, the tech. You need the tech. And that means 1-0 only has 3 Acolytes at max at this expansion. Not as efficient as you'd like it to be, but maybe for the late game, he'll have some more gold in the bank compared to Fortitude. This is a major step up for 1-0 compared to what he did before. This must have been a week of hidden, non-stop human versus undead action and practice.
Oh yes. Let me tell you, 1-0 is a little bit behind, but what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? He's slowly, peeking those footies, and maybe will be enough power for the undead to actually kill some workers. But look at Fortitude, already in defensive position, already healing. There is a fresh water elemental, and yes, 1-0 needs to do something here. And there is even defensive Shredder. I mean, Shredder, like, okay, should I go to work? Should I fight? Let's see. If he gets surrounded, it's terrible. 1-0 is not even thinking about this, and there is Zeppelin. Zeppelin's amazing because, ladies and gentlemen, there is only ground units for 1-0, and now every surround is basically useless.
Anybody need a lift? This old man on the horse, maybe? Yep, doesn't even have to buy a ticket. He can play circles around him now. Shredder is hard hitting, not only versus trees, but also against the units, and 40 is farming and farming. What about the techs? 40 is finished, got the blacksmith up, oh, almost up, now finishing that. Levels very even. 1-0 has to catch up in tech, and please don't forget the altar.
That's very true. Altar needs to go up quickly. I mean, with the altar situation is looking pretty good, but let's focus on this Impale. Crippler is on level 4, right? So every Impale provides even more value. And ladies and gentlemen, what is happening now? Killing Acolytes, of course, is annoying. Undead is investing into some towers, but can you stop Archmage? This time Archmage is not interested into killing the expansion. This time he's going for the Acolytes. Crypt Lord is a little bit chunky. He can't connect too well. And how many Acolytes are we going to lose? Maybe some ghouls, and you can't deal with the water elementals. And saving footies is super easy with the Zeppelin technology.
Exactly. Would have loved to see one gargoyle before the first fiend, maybe, just to put pressure on that zap and to take that element away from 40's play. But he went fiends instead. Tier 2 isn't done yet. He can still follow that up. And 40, it feels like he's getting further and further ahead. He's putting on a clinic. He took out quite some economy, lots of ghouls as well. We do have an altar, thankfully, for 1-0, so tier 3 can start in a second, but tier 3 for 40 is already on the way.
Yeah, and Fortitude is doing this like his favorite move, which is basically banking gold. He will stay on 50 supply for a long time because he's preparing his production building. It's going to be probably triple Gryphon Aviary with double workshop in order to play Gryphons and Gyros. And he did a lot. He did a lot of good things, and now he can relax a little bit, similar as 1-0 in the previous game when he expanded and crept a little bit, and then he was just focusing on making this big timing. In Fortitude case, it's not about making the timing, it's just he has a lot of time to accumulate gold and spend it, but 120 is looking for some creep jugs because he scouted human with crystal ball.
Item on the ground, he finds him here. Impale, no mana for that, so it's only a couple of right clicks and the fiends. And I'm really not too sure if you should engage into a Mountain King with this much mana. Looking at the production tab, by the way, double workshop, triple griffin aviary, 2,000 gold for Fortitude. He's gonna explode into upkeep in a sec.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, there is a lot of production buildings to, you know, spend your gold. Well, Paladin is in the queue, Griffon Aviaries are finishing, and man, he's going to be so efficient, so ready for it. And what Undead can do, I mean, in this situation, Undead can't go for timing himself. Probably he'll try to creep. Maybe we'll see an Abomination, Banshee transition. But it's hard to say now. Definitely Fortitude is ahead, as his bank account clearly shows us.
Yeah, he's super rich. Now starting to spend with flak cannons, with griffins, paladin, storm hammers, everything. 120 has to catch up a lot in levels, still in tech. He was never really a fan of the Banshees, but what do you want to play? Mass Destroyers, good luck versus Gyros. A-Bombs, good luck versus Griffins. I feel like at this stage of the game, you need Banshees.
I mean, look at Mountain King, right? He's already skilling Club, so that's basically a preparation for mass fiends, because let me tell you, those fiends are going to die very quickly versus high-level MK. And there is no Gryphons in the battlefield yet, and at least not in the combat, and players are already trading, because that was some kind of the creep jug. We have two Gyros ready. What about the MK? MK is surviving just fine. There is Paladin, there is healing potion, and man, fiends are dying even without Gryphon.
Yeah, 120 is completely falling apart. I don't know what this timing was. It was not good at all. Donating one fiend to the next. Of course, you want to prevent creeping a little bit, but if a Mountain King like that, with like red HP, can stay so comfortably in a fight like this, something is horribly wrong. We get the first Griffin, that's level 5, but these coils, man, they feel pathetic. These hammers, they hit hard, and man, he got so much mana regen. The next Stormbolt is ready. Just waiting for the moment. Impale, kinda nice. But yeah, fiends around, gets another kill. One more Stormbolt focus. This is child's play for 40.
And because of the gyros, there's no destroyers in the air, right? Because then the gyrocopters just obliterate them. And look at the water elementals. Some people call them water tyrants because they have almost 1000 HP. And they deal a lot of damage as well. So yes, poor Undead here is getting squeezed by both Gryphons and those water elementals. We have 3 of them, and they are surrounding.
The Lich goes for a swim, suffocating a little bit here. 40 is in full control against these.
MK.
Yep. Nice kill, okay, but there will be a follow-up kill. So much is clear. 40 can easily get him back to the tavern. Oh, wait a second, the Griffin is falling too. This got expensive at the end.
Yeah, that's okay. So as you mentioned, the first game of the series answers a lot of questions, right? And my question is, look at Fortitude Expo. He took workers from his gold mine because he has wrong control group. It happens to me often, you know, like you had a militia in like control group 5 or whatever. You forgot about this from the early game and he pulled it away. And I was like, why there is workers in the middle of the map? Fortitude is a little bit like shaky, you know? If Fortitude would be your scheduled surgeon for today, maybe have a second consultation because I don't know. A little bit shaky. Still will probably finish the procedure well, but it's not as steady as usual. That's my point.
Maybe need a good anesthetic to get you through it. Statues were quite far away, now joining in again for more mana, more HP, of course. That Mountain King loss hurts a little bit. It's only coming in now, even though he got a lot of kills. It's only level 2.5 at the moment. 120 getting some HP and a claw on that Lich. 5-3-2, respectable heroes, even though the Crypt Lord falls off now more and more. as there's very few ground units to impale.
Yeah, Mountain King level 3 with mana. That's scary. And so far it's not happening, right? He's just on level 2. Maybe that's why 120 was trying to put so much effort into focusing him. And as you mentioned, 120 doesn't want to transition into Banshees. He thinks that his best chance... By the way, look at this Zeppelin position. There is no vision from the Undead and Zeppelin survives.
40 needs levels, but where to get them? There's scraps at the red. There's the orange still, but 120 will get the red spot then, as you said. This is way closer than it had any right to be. Fortitude overextending, doing economical mistakes, and Banshees are coming.
What do you think about Criplord not being pulled back? He's stealing experience!
Ah, that hurts, that hurts. A lot of games were decided at the red spot, so we might want to speed this all up. But yeah, eventually, you are correct. There was no harm, there was no danger.
Look, now he's giving lead the last guy for level 3. He's like, Soul, it was just for the breakpoint. Ladies and gentlemen, how good is Criplord for the combat versus air? Not that great, but impaling workers with Nova on top of that sounds like a good combination. And as you mentioned, Banshees are coming, so he's insta-teleporting out after killing some workers. Lich! Whoosh. Barely.
This was a picture-by-picture Happy play. Use your spells on the workers, TP out. Happy does that a lot, and in the past, 120 refrained from playing like Happy. Always wanted to be a bit different. I think he's giving up on that attitude a little bit. But yeah, the Banshees can't come soon enough. We got 533, we got Clap level 2, we got Wand of the Wind and a Heal Scroll. Fortitude, 80 food, 120 still waiting for Anti-Magic Shell. This push might still hit in time.
Yeah, funny enough, the last big camp present on this map is close to the Undead base, but Undead can't creep it now because Fortitude is threatening some economic damage. Ladies and gentlemen, Banshees are almost ready. 80 supply for the humans, 74 supply for the Undead. What do you want from Banshees? 2 things, of course. I mean, even 3. You want them all. Curse is good because there's no Dispel. So, you know, cursing those Gryphons sounds nice. Anti-magic shell on the Fiends, you know, to keep them alive for longer versus magic damage of Gryphons and spell damage of Mountain King. And last but not least, I would like to add a knight to our army composition. We have a big fight. Man, is 120, are you happy about this position?
No! Oh my god, the Lich gets deleted! What a disaster! Stormhammers from the Griffins. This is an invite for them. The statues are far in the back. They took forever to clean up this posy. One fiend after the next get eviscerated.
Mamma mia, I think the game was going okay before this TP. Like, everything was close to each other. There was not enough anti-magic potion, and Fortitude is just clearing this. 120 thought that Fortitude will teleport out, but no! This guy has a boss aura. He's like, okay, let's check how big your army is. And all of the fiends are dying, Mr. Neo. Look at top right eye.
Oh my god. You never ever want to TP into a Crypt Lord, but you also never ever want to TP into Griffins. Stormhammers, tiny little shockwaves with magic damage. They wreck statues, they wreck the fiends, and they also wreck the Lich, which is back now. 20 food supply advantage. 120, he survived until the anti-magic is here, but Fortitude just brings the big guns.
Yeah, the Lich is back from the tavern, but that again, GG is called. 1 or Fortitude. Again, clean start, but a little bit shaky in the mid-game. It makes this an interesting series.
Yeah. 120 playing better than expected, forcing a 20-minute game. Is that enough, judging from only one game, so that he can really seriously threaten Fortitude? I don't think this was Fortitude's best, to be honest. As you mentioned, a couple of mistakes here, an overcommitment also, but in the end, a very decisive victory. And yeah, 120 stepped it up, but 40 can play even better. Is 120 still comfortable? Does he find new angles? Is it just gonna be the Crypt Lord again? Many questions that we'll answer right here. It is a Lich! And that could be a bit of a curveball. We haven't seen much Lich, but it looked really good. Of course, no summons. That will hurt a little bit. What way more damage with Nova and range attacks, and that might help you. Can a Lich deal with water elementals though? Another question.
And the Lich can change the late game because you don't want to play Mass Gryphons usually versus level 5 Lich because of how Nova scales. There is no damage cap on the Nova, right? So if all of those air units are close together, Lich is a killer. Maybe it's going to be Knights Gyro. We'll see about that. And as you mentioned, can and how 1-0 will keep his Expo alive, because there is no Beetles, there is no Surrounds, there is no Impales, but Fortitude proved that it's super good versus it. And yes, it's going to be super fast expansion by the Undead player. He's selling his altar and carrying Sacrificial Skull. On the other side of the map, Fortitude is opening with the Mercamp Crypt.
Yeah, he got the Shadow Priest as well. 1-0 tried to steal it, but there was a second too late. Would have been a nice addition against Water Elementals for the Dispel. But yeah, it's now a bit of healing against the Lich. That's never wrong. Item on the ground. What he got? Circlet. Love to see it. So 40 has confirmation that this is the Lich. What kind of adjustments are we expecting?
That's a good question, and 1-0 wants to probably creep the Mercamp. Look at this. He's like, okay, I'm expanding very quickly. Now I can start creeping as well. Who needs Beetles to expand fast? Acolyte, the scouting Acolyte was lost, by the way. It was a little bit unfortunate. And now he doesn't know what Fortitude is going to do. And where is Fortitude going with his Archmage?
Yeah, that's a good question. Across the map, basically, into the main.
He wants red HP ghouls. Sometimes you play like that on Last Refuge. So he's like, okay, creeping the market Mercamp is very hard, right? The ghouls are getting low HP, and when you send your ghouls later to the Ghoul Hospital located inside of the Undead base, and his name is Fortitude, and he's chasing those ghouls.
The game senses, man. The game sense so strong by 40. One more hit and he gets the kill. That's also level 3 now. Even without that ghoul, Expo for now unpunished. And 1-0 more in a defensive posture. Ghoul gets away.
It didn't work that well, right? He got one ghoul, but let's see. What is important? Lich is on level 3 as well. So far, 0 economic damage dealt to a human. And you know what Fortitude wants to do. He wants to connect his Water Elemental with Haunted Goldmine.
It's cancel o'clock. There we go. No blocks here anyway. No ghouls anywhere. We got a Shadow Priest, but a bit out of position. There was a nice lure by 40 to get 1-0 out of the defensive. And this is a cancel for sure.
And how expensive is going to be? Hard to... No cancel!
Oh my god, that is so expensive! Massive mistake, 1-0.
And there was no way to keep it like longer. There was like no reason for it. That's like unforgivable mistake. In game number 1, we were looking for, you know, hope a little bit for 1-0. That okay, maybe he's actually playing well and not canceling the Expo here. That's why.
Yep, good question. Also, we're saving a lot of mana. Okay, now we got a Nova. 1-0 has to do terrible damage in this mid game.
And look at Human. His base his expansion is mining, secured by the Arcane Tower. Maybe Mr. Orange 1-0 is like, oh, I'm going to win anyway, even though I lost this Expo with this aggression. But no. Look at this beautiful defensive position. The Water Elementals can be used both defensively and offensively.
Okay. No boots available, makes chasing a little harder, but there's nowhere to run for these footmen. Shadow Priest did as much as he could here. But yeah, this is usually the play we want to see with a Lich. Tempo, damage, just force any resources out of the human. That has worked a long time in like 2022, 2023. But 1-0 was creeping heavily and not feasting on footmen and peasants. And then all of a sudden there's a human Expo and there's also a tech basically at the same time as 1-0's second Expo attempt.
I mean, this game is definitely will be remembered as a big throw anyway. I would be super surprised if 1-0 can come back. But man, maybe this Lich is going to be like such a different experience for Fortitude, the human, that he'll actually, I don't know, lose his Archmage to it, and there is no body blocks, there is no mana follow-up. And man, can the Undead expansion finish? It's looking grim. Human is taking already, man.
Alrighty, 1-0 has to hope for Fortitude to make mistakes. The Berserker went down. That's a nice little XP jump. Just like the Ghoul died up top. Here's a Footman dying as well. Damage is fine and damage potential for the Lich is super good. But is that enough? Lumber Mill coming. We're preparing for tier 3 already. Fortitude smooth sailing. 1-0 needs more than that.
Yeah, even Forest Troll Berserker was trying to hide at the Turtles and Fortitude had found him. Fortitude is getting his shop up, and with the Regen Scroll, with the Clarity, he will be ready for another fight. And now is an Acolyte hunting season, so finally the Undead is taking, but he doesn't have Necropolis. Why? I mean the second Necropolis, because he was broke. He didn't cancel his expo. He had to accumulate a lot of gold. It was late, and what Fortitude will probably do, he will try to kill some Acolytes, I presume. It's nothing to stop him. Lich has boost of speed, but man, he's half HP as well. And yes, the big, it's not a game-ending push probably, but yes, he wants to go to the Undead Expo and target some Acolytes.
DWSL, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Much love. Fueling the energy here. With a
1-0 needs energy. Can somebody gift 1-0 a working expansion? Because he has a problem with it.
That's true. Tech is alright. Now next obstacle, of course, don't forget about that altar. Pressure on an Archmage was nice. But it's, I mean, he keeps him away from the second base. That's about it. We only have 6 ghouls in the mix here. He's not spending his resources much. And I don't see an altar yet. I'm getting slightly worried. He forgot it again.
I mean, he's making it now, so it's not the end of the world. But yes, the question is how he can trade in the middle. Okay, that was nice. He got the last hit here, but look at Fortitude. He's like, I have a heal scroll. I'm going in.
Okay, and why not? Why not? Maybe the altar is lining up still if you go for some fiends, if you go for one of negation and mana pods, which you usually shouldn't need when you have a Lich on level 4, but you only got level 4 now. There is so little to work with for 1-0.
And he needs to work hard. Okay, the Nova on double Forest Troll Priest was nice. Fortitude is denying, but they are dead regardless. And yes, Acolyte hunting season. Look at Footies at the Expo. They can split their aggression between Acolytes, and 1-0 can't get rich. His business plan didn't work.
Not yet, that's for sure. Footman plowing forward. What's left in the tank? Mountain King is coming. We still have that heal scroll. 40 can just commit to this expo, kill it and win.
And there is Mountain King. It means that Lich needs to like stay extremely cautious. Bolt can finish the game. There is Invul on the Lich. Can you use it? Okay. The Forest Troll Priest went down. I mean the Priest guy, and Expansion's under big trouble. MK is trying to force the Invul. Lich can't help his expansion, even though there are 2 towers. Forcing a TP would be nice, but Archmage is cool as cucumber with the heal scroll, and the plan for Fortitude is as following. Kill the Expo and teleport out. What about the Lich? Lich has the Invul. Bolt, dodge with the Invul. It was mandatory, and actually, expansion will survive, but for what cost, Neo?
Everything.
For the human with 2,000 gold in the bank.
Everything it cost him, everything! Barely any ghouls left, all the mercs gone, lots of acolytes killed. Lich survives, that was nice. 1-0 does probably as good as you can. But now he has to invest everything into tech, production, acolytes. No money for a wand of negation. Not even for a mana potion. Good saves by 1-0. But again, the question, is it enough? Especially when 40 is on tier 3, we got the workshops and tanks are coming.
If I would be a Warcraft 3 psychologist, I would say 1-0, you are doing amazing. Maybe you are a dead man walking in this game, not because you are an undead, but there's always game 3, there's always game 4, and after game 4 you need to win game 5. So I like that he's doing those moves, I like that he's microing. But yes, it's tough. It is double the surround. No, Death Knight sacrificed himself to keep the Lich alive, and he had some mana, by the way. And there are already beautiful knights. And let's say bye-bye to the Lich, maybe. No, is there Bolt? Yes, there is Bolt in the chamber. We are judging Fortitude. We are judging, and that was a little bit of an ambitious Bolt. So the Lich survives.
Okay, nice escape. The DK died for our sins. He will get the Fiend with a big deny. And the big mana, of course. Now, no more Stormbolt. That was alright. That got 1-2-0 some time for tier 3. Paladin is out. What are the tanks doing? They're coming. We have one upgrade on each. Attack and defense.
I wonder if he's making tanks because you just finished the game faster, you know, like when you play tanks versus Night Elf, there's this long, sophisticated plan of killing Moonwell slowly so Warden can get this efficiency. And here it's like, no, I'm not going to kill like important buildings, I'm going to just kill everything because I just want to go next.
I guess when there's no Crypt Lord, there's no beetles and no mass ghouls, so the normal damage is not there to deal with the tanks, and 1-2-0 has tank phobia and taps out right away before the buildings get even touched. Big mistake, of course.
He read the statement the same. He's like, Fortitude want to squeeze me. Yep. Fortitude doesn't respect me. Okay, let's not get squeezed. Let's get to game number 3, because if the reverse sweep can happen, it should happen now, ladies and gentlemen. Brutal game indeed, but again, can we judge roughly? Huge expansion, a huge mistake, but not canceling the expo when it wasn't even close, you know. Sometimes there's like this split second, you have 5 acolytes ready to start repairing, but it wasn't the case. It was just sloppy play by 1-0. The Footman is scouting. It's going to be start with either Makrura or expansion, but on the kobolds. He's going for Makrura!
Okay, beloved all over the world. So beloved that everybody wants to claim them for themselves. So not going for a very fast expo, rather creeping up to a more stable level 2 and beyond.
I mean, basically, that's a statement that Fortitude will now get a green camp in front of his map, and then he will creep the kobolds. For some reason, he doesn't like to, in this particular game, to expand nearby the Undead Expo, right? When you compare position of both human available expansions, one of them is very close to the Undead Expo, and another one is an completely opposite, right? It's like Poland versus New Zealand, very far away. So, ladies and gentlemen, Fortitude just wants to keep Undead on distance. Can't blame him for that.
Alright, a lot of people tried something different against 1-2-0, and that's be as aggressive as possible. He oftentimes showed some flaws in creep speed of that 12 o'clock. Fortitude not making use of that, and that exposes him a little bit. 1-2-0 crossing the map while 40 is still creeping. The Kobold should be falling though. Crypt Lord is not the fastest hero in the game. And 40 cleans it up, but a little bit of damage here and there. We have to worry.
The last hit for level 3. Impale! Can he get the Impale? No! Impale for nothing!
A bit premature here, but it did a little bit of damage to the workers. He gets 1, he gets 2.
Stab of Telly! Stab of Telly! Stab of Telly! Oh, Fortitude. He's like, oh, you thought that you can't travel from Poland to New Zealand? I have a private jet.
Or
you can go for intercontinental travel.
Star Trek beaming technology. That's exactly what you want to do. Footman in position, Water Elementals in position, and another cancel. But as long as it's one base, everything is fine for 1-2-0.
And look at this, Neo, like maybe expansion got cancelled, maybe actually Ziggurat got cancelled, I mean killed. Let's call it, but level 3 is on the way. Ring of Regen is a decent item, and is it 1-base? I think that players are thinking about 1-base situation now. Look at this, Fortitude is not sending any workers. He's about to start taking, I presume.
Okay.
Players' forces are under attack.
I mean, I hope.
would love to see this actually. But for now, no text to be seen. 40 is scouting that with an illusion, puts more pressure onto herd ghouls. What's 120 doing? Oh yeah, 40 is indeed teching. 2 minutes, of course, and scouted right away. Militia are ready. You can't lose any workers here now, as you can't rebuild them.
120 can tech as well. He's killing an illusion of the water elemental, and maybe he thought that he will get level 3 from that, but surprise, surprise, no level 3 is present here. Footies are getting low HP, but look at those ghouls squeezing!
Nice.
Continues! Those ghouls are escaping from the undead base because it's not safe in the undead base. It's a crazy world that we are living in.
Fly, fly, you fools! We go for the Acolyte. There is a lot of backup Acolytes, so damage here is not that bad. One ghoul wanted to go home. He was homesick, but he gets punished for that. He gets burned to a crisp for another kill of that Archmage. And 120's attack didn't lead to much in the main. He's still in trouble in his own base.
I wonder why there is militia at the expansion. Is Fortitude going to cancel the tech? Like, no way.
No.
He's ready to expand.
He has the
He's
resources.
Yeah, but it's weird. Okay, you spoke about hiding strategies. This is an extraordinary game. If you play one base, human is usually play. I mean, if you tech before expanding as human, you usually make rifle caster, MK second, and then you go tier 3, inner fire, and then maybe you expand. In this game, it's kind of a mix of both worlds. Tier 2 expansion, and Crippler is already here, and maybe he's shown us that it's actually not the best strategy.
Oh, we'll see about that. Sock had some success with that tier 2 expo. Definitely cheeky. Will this be successful though? Repair is in time. How much longer till the tower's up? 30 seconds. This will drain a lot of resources on 120's on Fortitude's side. Has to cancel one of the towers. Impale did some damage. There will be corpses and then more beetles.
Oh yes, more beetles. That would be like 10 seconds on the Arcane Tower. Oh, this is very important. Can we kill the Arcane Tower? 5 more seconds. Shadow for Blizzard for this timer thing. And the Arcane Tower is dead. But at the other side of the map, of course, there is no expansion as well because of this nice water elemental that already expired. Doesn't matter. And you know what? As Bo5 said, there is no such thing as a mistake, it's just a happy accident, and maybe it will like Fortitude like, okay, let's play standard. Who needs tier 2 expo if we can go for just rifle caster 1 base?
Yeah, but usually rifle caster is a timing based affair, and this decision for the rifle casters came a little late, so the blacksmith is a little late. On the other side...
What came late as well for the undead?
Yeah, 120 had to think a long time if he wanted a second hero and tier 3 or not. And that altar, it keeps on happening to the undeads, man. It's a plague.
What do you think is like the best way to not forget about something? Maybe they should make like a tattoo of like an altar, basically.
For me...
That is very popular to have like a tattoo on a forearm,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And I'm not sure if you look at your forearms during the game. I always had a post-it on my screen.
Okay. You can record yourself a message, you know, like, and you just every 2 minutes it's like make an altar. Remember to make an altar.
Yeah,
from the future.
We need that. We're all getting old, okay? Our memories isn't the best anymore, but
and,
yeah.
You know, after like few minutes, you start ignoring this message because it's on repeat, and you forget the altar, and you just left alone with annoying message, basically. So don't do it, guys. Bad idea.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
As you mentioned, timing-based thing, and can we buy a Road of Negation? Oh yes, some of water elementals are going to be detonated. This ward gives you 800. Oh, that was juicy impale, but we need to wait for the MK. Man, this squeezing! Squeezing continues, expand or not, human will squeeze you.
And the water elemental is also safe, holding back mana potion available. This is the closest to the current meta, at least like the behavior at the beginning of tier 2, and all of a sudden it's not looking too bad. But Fortitude is a god in these rifle pushes, and the first rifle and priest have arrived.
He's bringing militia, and as an ex-pal rifle player, let me tell you, if you bring militia, you means business. There will be shop, there will be an arcane tower, and maybe even proxy workshop. And Undead can't hide, even in his base.
Okay, 1-2-0 has to survive here. This was oftentimes the better games of his when he can play defensive, unlike tier 2 play. But can 40 just kill him here and advance into the top 3 versus Happy tomorrow? Tier 3, 50 seconds.
Yeah, leads would be great here, and Militia is ready to provide some structures. There is mana potion on the Crypt Lord. The ghouls are slowly dying. That's not good. And it's going to be an Arcane Tower, I presume.
I guess so too.
Who need Blood Mage when you have an Arcane Tower?
Last of my knowledge, Arcane Tower can't give you mana, unlike the Blonde Devil.
You have Archmage. Okay, Archmage and Arcane Tower is better than Blood Mage.
For sure. Lots of healing in the back via Priests, untouched. Good repair to keep the Crypt up. But ghouls are suffering. 1-0 is only at 34 food.
Yeah, but 7 seconds away we are from tier 3, and of course immediately on tier 3 we'll get only a big Arcane Nerubian Tower, I mean. But ladies and gentlemen, soon Destroyer form, soon third hero, soon the Orb. Maybe there is hope.
Okay, the Crypt Lord has to carry. I am noob, I am lagger. This is a very unfortunate timing.
At least it's not us, okay?
It is never us.
Dot message is coming from one of the players.
Yep. We are in the safe house. We're never responsible for anything.
I mean, this is a very good player, by the way. I think it's either Warcraft 3 Orc Eer0 or Ice Orc. Ice Orc is Neverland, so it's Warcraft 3 Orc Eer0 and Orc from China. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, he lagged the game.
Okay, did that hurt anyone? Hopefully not. Impale coming in, 1-2-0. How much longer for the Lich? 35 seconds. Holding on to dear life, not only for this map, but for the entire tournament.
Yes, Destroyer form is on the way, of course, versus... Okay, another juicy Impale, and give me the Lich, so Lich can put Nova on top of that, killing all of the footies. The Undead is trying to keep his ghouls alive. And what about the field? The field goes down. Supplies dropping very quickly. MK got surrounded. MK is stuffing back to the safety of Priests. But yes, big supply lead for the Human, but Human has a tier 2 supply, while Undead supply is way worth more now because of the Lich, because of potential Orb. Oh yes, we have an Orb, we have triple hero combination. Is it enough though? Can you eat through those footies?
Love the shop for Fortitude. That's what he got ahead. This is a surreal situation.
Okay, Destroyer.
Shop.
There's Destroyer. That's the moment, Neo.
Okay.
Can we survive this?
Going for the Priest. 40 has a shop. 1-2-0 does not. No more Wand of Negation. No more mana potions. Usually you hang on to that shop. Try everything. He's putting pressure on the Archmage. Has a potion himself. Nuke.
Nova.
Oh!
Healing potion used in the perfect time, and it was costly for the Undead. And Undead is losing his Death Knight. It's expensive. It gives levels to the opponent. Crypt Lord, if he gets surrounded, it means trouble. Breathe in, breathe out.
Okay.
Fortitude on tactical 51 supply.
Exactly.
Twitch chat, what do you think about that? Do you like it, Twitch chat?
Can't move forward. The Arcane Tower is burning all the mana. Lich has a Nova in a bit. The statues are doing whatever they can. But of course, 1-0 in shambles here. If the Crypt falls, no more Fiends. He's not rebuilding that DK yet. 1-0. Build your DK.
This is more important than the Fiend for sure. Destroyer is providing some value. Fortitude is still on 51 supply. Another, okay, oh, Destroyer morph and die at the same time, and it's not like cancelling a tower, you don't get your resources back. This Destroyer morphing and dying at the same time may be the nail to the Undead coffin. So far, ladies and gentlemen, Fortitude is proving that he's not scared of Undead.
Yeah, and the win streak will continue most likely. Now the DK is back. Ay. Crypt Lord will be wiped off the map in a bit. The Mountain King is lining it up, and I think the only thing that 1-0 can line up is the GG in the chat and a tap out. A top 4 finish is the limit at the moment in these tier 1 competitions. Sometimes top 3, but he was probably not ready here today.
Okay, Defta is back. Look how deep Undead is squeezed. That's the most extreme squeezing that I have seen. But ladies and gentlemen, sometimes if you squeeze too much, mistakes can happen. Wait a moment, this is an Undead base we are talking about. There was a lot of brave people that wanted to enter Undead base, but not that many of them was able to come back. Level 2 on the Death Knight and run to your towers, Mr. Fortitude. How do you like this squeezing in the Undead base?
Yeah,
it's like adding salt instead of sugar to tea or something.
We want to close this out now, and the best thing to do and to have is mortar teams. 120 survives to see another day. The shop is back up. The statues are working. He shows a lot of fighting spirit here. And maybe with levels comes success.
Yeah, and it will take some time to get those morts. The problem is there is so many rifles, so destroyers are not that useful, but versus rifles you can have a nicely done impale. Arcane Tower is providing a lot of value, of course, with all of those connections. 3 destroyers, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the supply. The supply gap is not that big. There's no paladin to kill those rifles. Believe it or not, it's not a pala rifle game. One of the Arcane Towers went down. MK is surviving just fine, but is Undead going to kite back? We'll see about that. There's actually a gyrocopter, but gyrocopters with the heavy armor, they can die quite quickly. 8 supply ahead. Human is, and remember, it's still tier 2 supply versus tier 3 supply. We have an orb. Orb works like a few supply points, that's for sure.
Okay, we also get a wagon to put some pressure onto the range. Nuke on the Mountain King, not enough. The next coil needs to be defensively. Needs the mana. Cryptlord passed the potion, brother. But statues seem to be enough unless there's a Stormbolt coming in soon. Fortitude feels like he's not losing anything.
Yeah, there's the efficiency of Rifle Caster, but let me tell you, with Obsidian Statues, you have efficiency as well. Fortitude is patient. He's looking for this good bolt. And you can't coil 2 targets at the same point, and you need to use mana potion first as well. The amount of gyrocopters is growing, and there is no crypt to go for web.
Okay.
There is no fiends to begin with. Cryptlord survives for now, but look at this, the squeezing continues.
Yeah, this screams for abominations. Next we get Disease Cloud, the wagon. Relatively careless, unfortunately, by 120, donating that away. And the workshop is still up. Flak cannons coming. Destroyers aren't an option anymore. Wagon didn't work. The slaughterhouse is occupied with Disease Cloud for a bit. Yeah, he cancelled that actually.
That's so genius to not go for the board. Cryptlord goes down and GG will be called. Man, that was so clean. 3-0 for Fortitude. He's advancing to the semi-final where Happy is awaiting him. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for tomorrow because Happy versus Fortitude is going to happen.
In the semi-final, everybody, 40 sets a statement. He can play whatever he wants against whatever there is. And 120 wasn't able to threaten him too much. I think this was a fairly clean affair here. A little bit shaky on Tidehunters maybe at certain points. But early games, extraordinary. Late game fights, super clean. And 120 again, his main problem is the matchup versus human. That's the case for years, and 40 takes advantage of that and rips his head off.